Hi all. I'm going to start tonight with a brilliant miniature that I played against some younger opponent without much experience. And I'm not sure what his rating is, but it's certainly not 2200 above. But you can just see the picture of him. He looks a little bit confused, a little dazed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little insight in terms of where I felt I started to gain an advantage in this game. And as I said, I was kind of toying with this person initially, but I didn't want to get too cute, but just playing good solid chess and see where it went. And by the way, these brilliancies, brunch brilliancies, are going to be coming at you at breakneck speed. So, you know, don't forget to hit your subscribe button and the notification bell so you get alerts to these things, because these things are going to be coming hot and heavy. And so let's get into the game. I started out with e4, and oh, I didn't want to do that. That was my baby picture. I started out with e4, and he followed suit with knight f6, which was, you know, pretty passive. I continued to follow up with my stonewall defense, or I guess it would be offense if I'm playing white. So he proceeded with the boring King's Indian, and I proceeded with my bishop to d3. He came in and bishop to g7, and then I set up the stonewall position with f4, and then he decided to play pawn to d5, which I thought was a little weak at this point. He should have castled. I mean, you know, he has to castle on that side, so why not castle? Why start playing pawn moves? Ridiculous. But so I came out with my knight, and then he castled, and I played my castle move, or maybe as they say in the game, I castled. And then he proceeded to move pawn c5. I, of course, secured my middle in case he went c4, and then I can move my bishop to c2. So he moved his knight out, and at this point I moved my knight to d2, which I thought was just kind of waiting just to see how bad he really is. And he didn't disappoint. This is the move that was his first blunder. So why would you make that move right now? Because now I just take and opens up his king side. So again, that's his first mistake. So I just kind of wait back and wait for him to move. I decided to take his pawn, and then he decided to move up. Again, another big blunder. I decided to take, and he took me back with his pawn. And then I started to maneuver my knight. Now, a rookie would start chasing my knight around, which only puts me in a better position, because I'm trying to get my knight to d6, and he helps me out along the way here. So after I moved my knight, he moved his pawn out, which is exactly what I wanted him to do. And then I proceeded to move my knight to f5. He moved his bishop, which was kind of a wasted move. At this point, I'm probably a couple points up at this point, because now I have an attack on his king side, and I'm just looking for ways to bring my queen into the game. So again, not just all intuition here. I mean, this isn't rocket science. So, and then he comes out and moves his bishop out, and then I move my knight to d6. He comes up with his queen, which was not a good move. because he should have moved his knight to e7 to protect his pawn, but and also you know, start to look at protecting his king with maybe knight to g5 or g6. So he didn't do that. So I took his pawn, and then he decided to take me again, and then I moved my knight back. And the reason I moved my knight back was because I saw an opportunity to come in, and if he took my queen, I could then take his bishop and fork his king and queen. But he decided to. So I moved my knight back. He moved his queen over, which was kind of silly, but I proceeded to move my queen, and then he made another brilliant move. See, this is what I'm talking about. These people just are pushing pieces here, and you know, it's tough to explain why this is a bad move, but you can just see it on the board why it's a bad move. So I then decided to move in with my knight, and now I feel like I'm up, you know, the equivalent of a piece here, because I got a great attacking chances on his h7, and then he made a move, you know, brought his rook to d8, which I guess is a little bit late at this point. I decided to take the pawn, which forced his queen, king to move. So the king moved, and then I basically brought my queen back to attack f7, and then he made really another dumb move here, but I moved my rook up. He decided to move his knight over. I moved it back, and again, it's not much explanation is needed here. He moved his rook up, which I thought was bad. I moved his rook out of the way, and then he made a stupid move, which is bringing his queen out. Put me in check. I moved my king over, and he moved his rook back, which was kind of silly, because then I came in with the Epstein fork, which left his queen hanging. I just made that up. That was pretty good. That was on the fly. See, this is what I'm talking about, Brunch Brilliances. You don't get this on other sites, okay? You mix a little politics in, a little of this, you know, what's going on in the current events, and that's what. And then he just faltered. So, well, you can tell the expression on his face, you know, in this picture, because he just looked kind of confused and dumbfounded, and didn't really understand why he lost. But you can see the brilliancy here, and that's it. If you want more of these, again, they're going to be coming at you at least once a day, and that's something you can bank on. So just smash that donate button, or is it smash the subscribe button? Whatever. Just start hitting buttons, and I'll look forward to bringing in, you know, that snappy repartee that you're going to get used to seeing, and maybe learn a little chess along the way. So, all right, guys, you know, put your notes in the comments below, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Take care.